me! Jessica! I'm in here!
Hi everyone. Okay, wait, low key. We're just gonna jump right in because I'm already in a match. Hi everybody. Welcome in everybody. Thanks for getting your check-in. I was having too much fun yesterday playing this game. So, oh, not jumping. You gotta get that shit wet first. So this is the warm-up. You just couldn't. I couldn't. I was having too much fun. If anybody wants to play, I'm down to play with friends. But I'm just gonna queue for a little bit, and then maybe we can end the stream by restarting the quarry. I'm really nervous about the quarry because I really love all those characters by the end of it, and I get sad when they die. Very different experience to what was it? Until Dawn. How are you doing, Ryan? I'm so sorry I missed so much of your stream. How was Baldur's Gate? It's not your first time playing though, right? I feel like we've spoken about Baldur's Gate at least before. Oh, no, it's okay, Star. I saw your message too, but I had work today, and guys, I had the longest day. Today, being at a restaurant really felt hard, in a good way. I like the challenge. Like doing my part-time work on the weekend. But today I felt it really, really deeply. Like my mind was starting to get slow. I was so tired. But it's okay, Star. Star, how was your day? Like, how was brunch? How'd your French toast come out? Yes, 20 stream streak. Guys, I'm low-key just laughing. I haven't touched anything. Oh. Punches, not this. This phone did something to her. Take that, I'll do that. Why'd she leave? Princess is so good. Brunch was okay. It was good to see some of the family. That's awesome. Okay, that's really good. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. I'm sure you're home now, though. Or what was the plan after brunch? Ryan, how are you? How was Baldur's Gate? How are the rest of your games last night? I'm not sure. I literally like disappeared. I got off my computer. Maybe we get another gen done. Michaela's kind of eating her up, I guess. You didn't hear what I said? Oh. I was saying that I'm sure you're home now, though. Unless you have plans after brunch. You look so tiny. It's because I had to change my setup around a little bit. And the lighting, like everything in my office right now kind of sucks. Cosmosis, hi! Thank you for getting your check-in. How are you doing this weekend? Were you with family this weekend? What did you plan? I could have had this gen done. Ready to slay these DD matches? Ooh, okay, Star, come in. Yeah, let's go put games in. I'm so down. Miggy Cutie, get your check-in. Guys, get your check-in. Oh, hell no. Stay delicious. Stay delicious, stay delicious. I'll take that. Take that. I thought I was waiting. That was fun. Look, I needed to get it. They're getting that gen finish. No basement. No. Yes, take me outside. Take me to my friend. That was fun. Huntress, I'm sorry, girl. Michaela ate her up, though. Shout out to Michaela. She did it all by herself. Allie, welcome in. How was your Father's Day? Like, what did you? I know you and your dad are close. Like, what did you guys do? I'm sure your dad had 65 streams is insanity. Miggy, how was your day? I had work today. I don't know what door. Oh, I stabbed myself. No, Michaela. Oh, Michaela, no. GG's to the Michaela. Michaela did the thing. Shout out to her. Let's go, girls. First game on. Got a blast. See ya. Let's go, lesbians. Let's go. My day was chill, just enjoying staying in. Ooh, what did we all eat today? I bought a buffalo chicken pizza. After our conversation yesterday, I was like, I need pizza. So I had that today. Buffalo chicken pizza. It was so good. Guys, first game on. How did we do? How did we do? How did we do? Guys, I think we're going to be good tonight. I think we're going to have some good games. Maybe I'm feeling confident. Ooh, meat lover shrimp. Oh, that sounds good. It was good. I think my dad is tired, so he told her home today. Okay, cool. You went to the movies? Wait, you said this yesterday. You saw Toy Story 5. Did you enjoy the movies? Can you remind me if you enjoyed it? Yesterday was a whirlwind, to be honest. Then I took Nola. Yeah, I remember. What did everybody eat today, though? Run that up. I only had pizza today. Don't hate me. I didn't have time for breakfast. I had like 5 coffees today. And eventually started drinking water, which I should go get my water bottle. BRB, Star, do you want to join now? We can totally start playing. Are you in lobby or something? If anybody wants to play, I want to hang out with homies. Yes! The Stargazer. Oh! I dropped my phone. Oh shit! You only had what? Coffee. I had like 5 cups of coffee, and then literally after work had pizza. It's just been a long ass day, to be honest. A long ass weekend. Oh my god, Star, you look so cute. Let me go get my water. I'll be right back. I'll join if there's a spot. Nikki, there's a spot. It says your name. Don't you see it right here? Your name's right here. It says Miggy in big letters. Is it just me? Am I the only one who sees that? Wait. Chad, do you see Miggy's name there? There's Mickey. Okay, got my water. That's my juice. That's my cookie. That's my juice. Mark, I miss you. Guys, shout out to Mark. We're still doing a fundraiser. I mean, it's pretty chill. Feel free to donate if you have the means. If you want to support a great cause, we're raising money for the Trevor Project this month. It started off as like a weekly gig, but honestly, it's okay. I had to make some adjustments to my expectations. So, here we are. Let me load up. Not like this. Not like DLS. What? Guys, we're gonna eat. We're gonna eat. We're gonna chew. That guy looks scary. Ark. Oh, oh, that's with good reason. It's because I am like hypnotized into the camera. Hi, Ark. You're still on BRB Diva. I know, I know. I was cleaning out my Twitch tabs, and I was like, Ark, how are you doing, friend? How's your day? It was a long day, but I'm happy to be streaming. I'm happy to make some time with folks and get my games with Star. Hey, here, we'll all put in Mickey. It's a night, guys. I don't like that. I don't like it. Computer, how do I kill the night? Oh, DC Tech. I'm good. It was a long week. So you also had a long week. I had a fucking long ass week. Star, run! I'm good. It was a long week. Okay, so did you have work today, Ark? Like, what were you up to today? Woo! Why did I make that noise? Fuck it, I have to get Star. Not us all, guys. Star, we think you're too valuable. We love you too much. We all went to the same. Look at that. I'll take this. Yeah. I did work today, but you got off early. Oh, that's nice. Now I'm gonna spend the weekend. Wait, Ark, when was your birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Arceus Angel. Or the Angel. Sorry, I can't read. I never learned how. I haven't played on this map in so long. Adam, my hero. I wasn't even paying attention, guys. Of course, Ark, how old did you turn? Be honest. How old are you now? Are you old like me? Happy birthday, Ark. Period. You gotta be nice. I love that. Let's just say I'm closer to 30 than 20. Ooh, he said no! That all worked out in my favor. I'm 26. Ooh, mama, you're chewing. Hey. Hey. Ark, you're 26. Oh my god, you're so young. Oh, to be 26. Just kidding. I'm so dramatic. I'm gonna do this gen. Maybe I'll make myself useful. Literally a baby. Ryan, right? To be 26 is so crazy. I was a mess. So I was hee and ha-ing. That was just so fun. Why he sound like me? Why he sound like me? I need that. Damn! He won't give up! Get the fuck away from me! Why is he laughing like that? Like, damn! Oh shit. I just got rid of this bitch. I can't. No. Oh no. Guys, what is going on? This game is a mess. Someone told you were a baby today? This whimsical and it's rolling. Literally, as life should be. I'm having a great time. Alright, well. Aw, shit. Get me on a generator, Justin. Be useful. Give me that whip. I just keep making him swing. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, is that how he gets rid of it? It's like a zombie. No. You don't want to play nice? I don't even know how long I was running away from. I mean, I feel like I didn't do shit this whole match. Just run away. This match was a lot of fun. Well, GG's. All the generators are done somehow. I don't know how that happened. I don't know who did the generators. It sure wasn't me. I don't remember doing any generators. I think I just ran away the whole game. Is that true? Come on, Adam, heal me. My hero. Honestly, I'll aid. Oh, and your girlfriend didn't get here in time. Baby girl. He didn't even know we were over here until you stabbed me. Please. Thank you. It's okay, I forgive you. Okay. Now you're doing a lot. Where are the doors? Adam, will you take me to the door? I don't even know where I'm at. Oh, I know where I'm at now. Okay. If there's a door right there getting worked on. Star, are you there? Oh, Mickey, where are you, Mickey? Yeah. Estrella, we did it, Joe. Oh, we did it, Joe. We gotta aim. Ah, we love that. Attached to the hinges of the help. Okay, okay. Well, that was a lot of fun. GG's. Let's see who... Oh, look at me. Did absolutely not a damn thing. GG's. D-Dog Pringle. GG's, Mr. Knight. That was so funny. I was I feel like I was peeing the whole match. Okay, we have a spot open. Anyone want to play? Anyone want to play? What is this? What is this? Earn 3 benevolent emblems of gold quality or better. Okay.
I've never read about or seen a place like this.
Guys, my fingers have been so dry because I wash my hands like... I wash my hands so often at work because I'm always like, it's just always a mess after you're picking up like dirty plates and stuff. All right, let's do that. Let's run that back, cause we're having good games, guys. Not a Jason in sight. They're all at their Father's Day events. Guys, I want to get some thigh tat. I want to get my legs tatted up. Even though I'm such a baby about tattoos. I would love to get my legs tatted. Watch, now that you said that, we're going to get a Jason. Stop, you're right. What are you getting? I think I want my mom's signature on my thigh or on my finger. I haven't decided. I want my mom to sign her name on my leg or something. Isn't that so cute? I love my mom. Maybe my mom and my brother on my leg. Okay. Look at that. Look at that, Star. Look at that. Jason's mom was a single mom. Maybe we're all Jason. It's Jason. Star, please. Oh, he's up there, Star. That's not good. I'm going over here. Oh! Oh my god, I didn't know you were there! Big whiff on Jason. Ash, hey! Ash, did you get your check-in? Sorry, I'm late to as hell to comment. Okay, so you did get your check-in. Oh! I'm sorry, Hattie, but you know what? We made good use of this chat. Now you're manifesting him. I summoned him. I'm coming, Star! Oh, I'm an idiot sandwich! Idiot sandwich! We're starting getting busy. Oh, that's not No, Star got first. But you did check in. You were literally second. We should have a second one. I think I want to make that a counter now too. The first. Did she just shake her head at me? Or is she dancing? I think she's dancing. She'll go. We love I'm sorry, Churro. Dio late trade. Ooh! Churro! Churro's eating over there. Good job, Churro. Ate that up. Dio lake trade. I read that as late trade. But lake trade makes more sense. He's here. Oh, he's right there. You saw the grass? Not the trick shot. Ah! Oh, I almost got the pallet. Nice pallet. I'm on the pallet. Oh my god. I'm kind of flopping. Damn. Thank you, Stuff. Mickey, baby. Heart. I've been in a sing-songy mood all day. Oh my god, Star, thank you. My hero. I was right there. He's trying to cut me off. Ryan, how are you doing today? You have yet to tell me about stream. Oh, he was that close to me. No pallets here. So interesting. No pallets. I need a window. god, Nikki. Oh, Chudo's here. Why is he gonna be dead? He wants me dead! He wants me dead! He wants me dead! No, he wants me dead! I get worried here. Jeez, Jason. Oh! This looks so painful. Jason, no. That's what the manifesting did. I got scared about dodging. Oh! And where is that happening? Underneath you? Oh, above you. Well. Oh, is that person? You almost got your sprint burst. What was that? No! Jinky Scoob. Oh! Gag him. Gag him. Name him. Name him. And he's still shy. No! No, no, no. He likes to throw that thing. Nice. Good try, friend. Good try. You did so good, friend. Like this. Hattie is just running. Hattie said, oh well, I'm just gonna die. Where's Miggy? Where are you? Did you shoot her? Oh, dang it. You did really well. You did really well. Oh, that's always the sound of the... I mean, I don't know how you would play this, because he could just teleport, like he just TPs, you know? He's just TPing right back there, because he knows that you're working on that gem, so he's just gonna try to catch you. Yeah. Miggy, hatch at Shack. Hatch at Shack. Run. Run, Star. Go to Shack. Hatch at Shack. Hatch at Shack. Incredible. Incredible. Hee 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 ha ha ha. Right to Shack. Go, go, go! Woo! Oh, he wanted me for my body. I mean, Jane in that outfit, I mean, a whole meal. Miggy, we did well. I mean, I played like trash. Sorry you ate that. I hope you heard my comms. Chat Shack. Chat Shack. Always. We never know what we're gonna run into. I think, Huntress was a blessing, and so was that night. I did. I was so scared. I'm surprised you didn't see me multiple times. Like, dude, you were getting in the corner so good. You're getting the corner so good. Girl shit. Hot girl shit. Oh, it's the... I have to get gold emblems, right?
days, that's for sure.
Oh, let's go. It's not another Jason. We lucked out. It was the only time. It's a Nemesis? Oh, it's a Wesker? Wesker. Oh. Now you ran up on me. I'm sorry. I ran up on Wait, no, I didn't know you were over here. He wasn't near me. When, just now? I didn't know you were here. Oh, damn.
You'll pay for that.
Stuck there. He is really good at getting you to go a certain direction. Oh. Oh. Let me go get the hook. Let me pay attention.
I'll see you dead.
Ew, why are you nodding at me? I'm so sorry about that, guys. Oh. LOL. You're being so weird. No, Biggie. Oh my god. Miggy! Miggy! Miggy got hatch. Miggy got hatch. There you go. 8. Okay, I need to pay attention. I need to lock
Seen better
in.
days, that's for sure.
Well, dang. Exactly. That was too close for comfort. Okay, I'm gonna actually lock in this time. No distractions. I've just been looking on TikTok. Like, is that a crime? I love this song. The music's been all right. Hell yeah. All right, here we go. It's a Jason. Not this shit again. I'm just kidding. I don't mind the Jasons. It's really good practice, you know? I didn't even know where he was. I'm sorry. I did not even know where he was. That's the second time. Even in that last Jason match, I had no idea where he was walking. Thank you, Star. I got these here too. My heroes. Let's get on that gen. Leon's coming. I'm locking in, guys. I'm not joking. Me with one hook stay already. On Mickey. I'm gonna start working on a different gen, I guess. I don't know where Mickey was. I don't know where this is happening. Guys, what is happening? I'm locked in. We haven't finished a single gen. I just know there's so much progress. And so much. Okay, that's one gen. 2 gens. Oh my god, we are incredible, iconic, incredible, beautiful, iconic. Incredible. There's Miggy's gen. Oh my god. Put that down. Good practice. Ooh, big whiff. Oh, he found Mickey? What? Mickey, where'd she come from? Oh, Leon. Leon, come here. Not you. Leon, come here. Come here. Leon. Please. Come here. Just moonwalking. Oh, I knew that sounded close. Well, great. Cold heart. Nice. Nice! Let's go, Star! Miggy is taking these L's. Thank you, Miggy, for your sacrifices. Big, like, he's just, I'm gonna go for Miggy. Unless Star, are you already up there? I'm going for Miggy, I'm going for Miggy. Miggy, I'm right here. Here you go, Miggy. Let me get you. Alright, we have to get the book out of here. I got you, Miggy. He went back to Hook! What a freak! We need to get on a gen. Leon. There's a gen right here. Wait, I'm gonna get on this. He's right there too. Oh, he sees me? No, he doesn't. Oh my god. I'm getting good at dodging. Come here. Oh, he got me that time. He got me that time. He got me that time. He broke the thing. Does he see me? Make it a whiff. lucky. I could have kept looping him there too. I should have just done it for the whole gen. They get the gen finished. Which is incredible. Interesting that I could outrun him there. He's coming here. I was afraid. At first I was afraid. I was petrified. Thank you. Oh no. Damn! How heavy is that thing? Okay, Mickey's here. Where's Leon? Guys, we just escaped. What a good game. No! Leon, please! Leon, please! Leon, where are you, Leon? Hatch's shack? Maybe he's going for Hatch. Where is he? Where is he? He's going for Hatch! Oh no. We should have left. GG! I'm sorry. La 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 la, la di di di, la di di do, la di di di, la di di do, la di di da. There you go, Jason. Oh, GG's guys. Sorry to that Leon. I think he was going for the Hatch play, which we should have just left. We had no idea what the situation was over there, though. GG's, friends! Woo! We got out. That's incredible. Good to know that you can loop him there. I wonder... he was taking some of those turns wide. I think he was afraid I was gonna come back, but... I don't know. I can't, I think I went too far in to that pallet, you know? So I couldn't hit it in time. GG's, you guys. I wasn't gonna let him kill you, Mickey. Excuse me. Whoa, that burp was gross. That was like a wet water burp, but like nothing came up, but it sure did feel like something was. I've been drinking a lot of water. Nia. Let's go. Oh, another Jason. Just can't be afraid of that, you know? Oh, straight up whacking people, bitches. Whacking people, bitches. Cover, run, go. He didn't lose you. Oh no. Star. Wait, why is that pallet there? You broke the pallet in the spawn room. So that's an add-on. DC. Oh no, my internet. Help, Step Internet. I can't connect to the DVD server. There's a gen of progress over yonder. Wait, is this? Oh, is this it? Oh, it's a gen. Oh, star. Here, star. It's okay. We just this is the gen. No! I'm sorry, Star. I'm sorry, Star. I'm going all the way to the other side of the map. A bunch of gens over here. I'm gonna do this one. How did Mia just... Now he's on me. Where is this all happening? Oh. Exhausts you. No way. Those must all be different add-ons because Mickey. Good job. I'm gonna have to do this gen. a sandwich. I'm an idiot sandwich. Why the Nia DC? Why the Nia DC? The Nia actually DC. That jet has so much progress on it. I think we just full send on TV. It had so much progress. The bot. So sad. So sad. For sure. Just killed me already. Where's the bot? Hi Fox, welcome in. Fox, how are you today? Fucking bot, bro. You can have the bot. It's Hack a Shack, friend. Okay? Hack a Shack. Hack a Shack. Hatch a Shack. Hatch a Shack. I'm never gonna say that right. Now that I'm here, oh, Fox. Did you have a good day today? Go to Shack, go to Shack. I used to always say Shack and Hatch, which isn't wrong. True. Go to Shack! Go to Shack! He turns right around. Oh, GG. Do I even want to watch? Oh, you see him. You see him. He sees you. You're looking at each other. You see each other. Oh. Target practice? It's right there. You see, he hears it. Look at it. Yep. Thank you, Jason. Not gonna lie, Jason is not fun to go against. I've been having a lot of fun against Jason. I was just hee and ha in the last match. I was hee-heeing. I'll be right back. I'm gonna ready up though. We have another spot open if somebody wants to join. I would join, but I'm a little agitated. No, I'm sorry that you're agitated, Fox. Talk to me. What's wrong? Life's life's good. I'm just having first world problems. But you're allowed to share your first world problems with me. Guys, what do you know? It's Jason. Look, remember before when I said we're not getting any Jason? I have no fear. I'm just gonna run. You love and appreciate me. I'm so happy with that. And I believe you. Like, I really love that you're here and just being a place that you can come and hang out and be yourself. What is up? Like, I feel like I'm within range to grab that pallet. And now the hook is back up. There's a fly in here. Another fly. Did not like that. Nice, guys. Oh, it's actually I'm gonna go straight for save. Oh, Star! What are you doing? Oh, Miggy! Oh my god, Miggy! Here's Bamboozle. I didn't even realize Miggy was on hook. Use random? Use random. Miggy, please! No! I had... The Jane is a random stop! The Jane's not a random. I can't believe we left you to die. I didn't even realize you were hooked. The Gabriel's a random. Yeah, the Gabe is a bot. You can take me, Jason. Just take me. I'm going back to the gym. Look at that. We had all that progress. Was he gonna go back to the gym? Threw my ass in the basement. Oh, it seemed rigged. I hate. Why did he hit me? Did he actually hit me? That definitely happened. Why did he hit me? Am I crazy? He definitely hit me that time. Yeah, get away from me. It wasn't far from me, but where? The question is where? Star! Oh my god, am I glad to see you? It's Hatchet-Shack. Always and forever. I could have sworn I would have gotten you. that Mori bad. He wants that Mori bad. You want that Mori bad. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, GG. Please tell me you're a hatch. 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 Nah, this feels like a Mori. This feels like a Mori. That absence, yeah, that's a Mori. It's giving Mori. Yeah, that was a Mori. He told me to go get hatched to then close it on me and Mori me like a toxic bitch. It was in fact a Mori. Mori, it was in fact a Mori. Alright, I'm gonna play one more and then we're gonna get into the quarry. I'm having a lot of fun, but I really do want to play the quarry on stream. Be right back. The quarry is so good. I know, and I played before, but I'm excited to play again. I really do want to platinum it. Super freak, she's super freaky. Super freak, she's super freaky. Oh, yow. Super freak. Super. Ooh. A couple bad bitches and her baddie friends. Her baddie friends. Oh, it's not a Jason, guys. Who do we think it is? No clues. Oh, y'all know. Oh, it's a pig. It's a pig. Oh, I just seen the trap thing move. Mickey? blood on you and everything? Well, damn. She didn't see me! She didn't see me! Hi, Art! Vete. Come up here, I'll heal you. Come here. Sorry. Oh, you're skinny. She's playing with no monitor, like literally standing right in front of her. Good luck with that helmet, friend. I'm gonna go to get a generator. Damn it. Oh, she don't give a damn about me. You're camping the generator at 4 times? Mickey? About that helmet. Mickey, baby. Mickey, no. Oh, spicy bones! I see your spicy bones. I see your spicy bones. I'm coming for your bones, bitch. Oh my god. Make it run. Make it run. No way, that's so unfortunate. No way, dude. Mickey. She saw me from shelf. Ugly. Like, why are you being weird? Honey baby. Honey baby. Go straight to her. Miggy, I'm sorry, friend. I'm sorry, Miggy. Got another gen done. Where are all the pallets? Oh. We know how to pack. Let's go ahead and skill. I got the helmet off. I should have ran with Star when she saved me the first time. Guys, I'm getting really tired, so we might just be able to start the game. We probably won't get very far. I'm gonna just try to like get clues and stuff. I know how the beginning works, so maybe we'll get up to like the bonfire night and call it. Star, did you survive? Oh my god, Star turning off the helmet. Come on, Star, come on. No fucking way. No fucking way. I will say, I always wish that you could help take off, like, remove traps from your friends. No, she's right there too. Oh, there's Bond on Jane. Mickey, you're the best of the game. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Mickey? You're the best of the game. Don't talk about my friend like that. Nice. That's nice. You got the helmet off. Yeah, right. Don't talk about my friend like that. Another helmet? Damn. She's just a hater. Random gets Hatch. I know, Hatch was right there too. What is all this extra noise I'm hearing? Because I hate her. GG's Random. Good luck, Charlie. There's a lot of audio happening. She has IBS. No, for real. Thank you guys so much for playing. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm gonna turn on... No idea. But... Right. Like, why am I listening to all this noise? This ruckus? in the chat thing, and she had a totem that took me forever to get. Oh, it was the spicy bones. Thank you guys for playing. We're gonna get the quarry on. Is that okay with everyone? Is everyone okay with me playing the quarry? Or should we play something else? GG's 50 for the games and us at the 8. We had so much fun! Oh, thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Cutie. Yeah, we had so much fun tonight. I mean, the games are always fun with my friend. But, like, yesterday's games were so fun. Today's games were so fun. Let's see if I can get into the quarry. Yeah. The quarry, let's do it. Thank you for playing, Miggy. Thank you guys for making so much time for me. Oh, let's copy. Okay, period. 4 minutes. Sorry for my angry comments about Jason and Pig. I just hate the way some killers play. Oh no, I don't mind your angry comments. I mean, here's the thing. We can have angry feelings, but like, who cares? Like, you're allowed to have those feelings. You're not going out of your way to like hurt them. You know what I mean? All right, 4 minutes till it's ready to play. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick while this loads. All right, 7 seconds. There you go. All right, guys. Here we go, guys. The quarry. My fave in the quarry. You've unlocked the Death Rewind. This feature, yeah. Let's just do a full, like, new save. Let's see what trophies I have, because then maybe we can like try to actually get a specific trophy. Quarry red band. Let's see. Who's my favorite quarry character? I kind of live for a lot of them. I really like them all. I think Brenda Song's character is hella fun. Like, I think she's such a baddie. I think honestly, the only two I don't like are that couple that comes in. Let's enable the Death Rewind, why not? I really came here to look at trophies. I got 24 out of the 41. Witness the epilogue. Interesting. Killed everyone. We have to kill everyone. Reunited Laura and Max. Never missed in a combat encounter. Let's try not to miss. Yeah, let's do all that. Started a movie mode playthrough. Okay. The final girl. Caitlin survived alone. Oh, these are all the final. These are all the. Took the fastest route to Nick. Ooh. Jacob told Elmer the truth. We have a bunch of trophies like these. Laura and Travis killed each other. Last man standing. Ryan survived alone. Infected every character? That's kind of fun. When is the quarry 2? No, literally, let's get... Not too much on my Himbo King. No, not... He's not even the worst. Honestly, his girlfriend is the worst. Okay, we're gonna try... Wait, did we do one where everyone survived? Hold on. Killed everyone. We haven't killed everyone. Oh, I think we did keep everyone alive. Oh, so now we have to kill people. I don't want to do that. 17 not earned. All right, let's get to cooking. Let's try. We have to kill everybody though. Okay. Girl boss Stephen Queen. Kill them all, let the chaos happen. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, new game. Oh, I forgot this is how it starts.
The sun is setting and you're right here by my side. And the moon is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna get in line. I've been
Oh, this song is so pretty.
I kiss his fingertips as I wish and he's on the line. He's giving me Elvis with some James Dean in his eyes. On my neck makes me wanna give up my body. I be falling for you, baby, and I just can't stop. 'Cause I never knew you could hold your hands till the night I held
Why'd you kill the music?
I think you know why.
I think
I
you know
don't
why.
think I do.
It's time for some.
Begins with an L,
Just kidding.
like the L word.
Lesbians?
Lost, Max. We're lost.
We're in geographic flux.
Right, so lost.
That's debatable. Oh, heads up. Yeah, honey, nice catch.
Thank you. Man, the roads are definitely getting worse out here.
I guess it's all part of the rustic
This
summer
bitch
camp
turned off my
experience.
music. I know.
Oh, right, that's where we're going. I lost
Like,
track
the
like
song is
200 miles
iconic.
ago.
200 miles ago, huh?
Yeah. You know what, Max? It's okay. It doesn't make you any less of a man.
You know, if Columbus hadn't got lost and landed on these golden shores, there would be no United States of America. Goodbye
Girl.
hot dogs. See you later apple pie.
Columbus never actually landed in North America.
What are you talking about?
Period.
Didn't even know he wasn't in Asia.
Are you serious?
Just another guy who didn't want to admit he was lost.
Well, just another guy who's got a whole day
LOL.
named after him, so put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Oh my god.
Not
Okay, just
anymore,
get
huh?
us to camp
Damn, I don't
already
like this
before
guy
I roll my
already.
eyes out of my
That's
hat,
it.
please.
Work it
We're
out.
killing them
I'm
all.
working on it.
Whatever.
Voila.
What is that?
Yeah.
No, but seriously, hon, what happened to the normal map?
This is the normal map.
The one on the phone?
No bars.
Of course not.
What are you, blind? Tell them all.
See,
I would
so
have
we-
kicked her out of the car and been like, you're walking home. Yeah, like, we were jamming.
Well, I guess they don't put summer camps on maps. Have you seen any signs for it?
Why would a summer camp, a random little summer camp, be on the map?
Hey, eyes on the road.
Whoa!
Max!
Oh shit!
Stop the car!
I don't want to miss any checks though, too. Grandma! I love this game so much.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I mean, still in one piece.
Jesus Christ, what do you think that was? A bear?
What? No, Max, it wasn't a bear.
What was it?
I don't know.
It was a person.
monster.
Oh, are you serious?
No,
Do you think we hit a person?
Nobody hit anybody.
I don't know. I mean, it was really close, like really close, but maybe we didn't.
That was me in the back, mad. Because she turned over, he was like, hey, why don't you turn
What
off the
is it?
music?
I really effed this car up.
Priorities.
Well, maybe it looks worse than it is.
I should check out the damage before we try to start it up again, hon. Could you grab my, the toolbox from the trunk?
Yeah, okay.
have to find tarot cards, guys. Tarot cards and collectibles. Just a tarot card, just a collectible. I know it wants me to go there, but I'm gonna keep walking around. I'm trying to find a tarot card.
It's not so bad.
My mom's gonna kill me.
Are you going to give me a tarot reading? I would hope so. Okay, cool. Hannah! Oh wait, that's the wrong game.
Max. Why didn't you tell me?
Haha.
Thanks, hon.
Not Hannah. Fana,
Can you
is that
hand?
you?
Yeah, actually, if you could just shine a light right here.
Here you go.
Perfect, thank you.
Sooner we get out of here, the better.
Just picture yourself curling up in front of a big old fire pit singing campfire sing-alongs.
I don't think people curl up right in front of big old fire pits.
Why not?
They don't want to catch on fire.
And then picture yourself curling up in front of a big old space heater.
Well, anywhere's better than here.
Where are you going?
Just over here.
Just stay there for a second, okay? I'm almost done.
Defiant is crazy. What do we want to do, guys? Compliant, hurry up. Defiant, are you my boss? I don't like either of them. You ain't my mom. Fine.
What? You're not the boss of me.
I just don't want you wandering off on your own.
Excuse me.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah,
That's what
better
you
not
said.
be.
I'm sorry, I really gotta concentrate for a second, okay?
Yes. Look, I think there's someone down there, okay?
What's that?
They could be hurt. I'm gonna go check it out. Good idea, Laura. So thoughtful of you.
Yeah, Laura. Now what? Now you fell into a hole.
Rose.
Oh. I want to find everything. Hannah! Hannah, are you there, Hannah? Hannah. There it is. The fool. I wonder who this is. We all know a fool when we see one, don't we? Innocence and freedom, or recklessness and risk-taking. Spontaneity, actions without thought, but the consequences to match. Think, and don't get burnt. Ooh. Alright, Hannah. Where's the multiple Hannah in the game? I know. Where's Hannah the camper? Hannah. That's Hannah now. Y'all remember Hannah? This is her now. You feel old yet? Montana? No, Hannah from Until Dawn. Oh, something else. Oh, I feel so old. Handcuffs? Escapology truck? I have my PhD in escapology. Oh, yeah, I saw you looping earlier. I'm gonna go this way.
What the hell?
To bridge. Bro, oh, it's a cage, broken cage.
Silas the dog boy. Yikes.
The dog boy is crazy.
This is too weird.
It's about to get wild in those woods with the... Why was there a cutscene when I went that way?
Silas.
Not me jump scaring. Where was she? Also, how's her iPhone flashlight so bright? Mine is so bad. Oh, I saw her that time.
Where are you?
Where are you?
Max? Max?
He's under the car, I think?
Max!
Hey, why are you shouting?
What?
She's a runner, she's a track star. Oh,
What the hell was that?
it was a ghost.
Car. Now. Yeah.
Now!
Okay.
Did you see it?
No, but I heard something. Let's just get out of here.
Come on!
Oh, God, I thought you said you checked it.
I did check it and it was fine. Honey, I know you're on edge, but you gotta calm down, okay?
I am not on edge, Max. I'm freaking the fuck
It was
out.
probably just an animal or something.
No, it wasn't an animal. You didn't see it. It was a woman.
Lord, this isn't helping, all right? Go! There we go. We're good. See?
Please just get us out of here. Max!
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Gross.
We're okay. We're safe in the car, really. We're gonna be okay.
Jeez!
Oh, fuck! Oh my God, my heart just exploded.
Roll it down.
Hi, officer. How are you doing this evening?
Are either of you injured?
Really, we're fine. We're just a little shaken up.
Well, you folks want to tell me what happened here?
Yeah.
Hi, Ash. Welcome back. Fuck it. I'm gonna be honest.
We, something jumped out right in front of the car and we didn't want to hit it, so we swerved and... Now here we are.
Something jumped out.
Honestly, she's being very helpful. Like, she could be out there pushing. Yeah, like, you could be pushing the thing.
I'm sorry, it was so dark and it happened so fast and they were gone.
They? Ma'am, did you hit someone?
No, God, no, of course not. You know, I mean, I don't think so. I don't know.
Sir?
Keep the car running.
Sir?
So he's sketchy.
Is this
Honestly,
kinda
the
like
first
the
time-
all-time scariest cop?
The first two times I
No,
played this
is my
game,
first cop.
What, like ever?
the cop
yeah,
scene
not
was
a
so
criminal.
tense. So he helps me out.
Now, you folks want to tell me just what in the hell you are doing all the way out here this late at night?
Driving. I'm gonna be nice.
We're
to
heading
him.
up to Hackett's Quarry summer camp. We're new counselors.
You're one night early.
No, we know. But we figured we'd get in early and scope it out, you know? I mean, they know we're coming. We called ahead.
And to be honest, sir, one of us kind of oversold their navigation skills and got us completely lost.
You're not gonna make it to Hackett's Quarry. Not tonight. Harbinger Motel. It's the nearest place. You can bunk up there for the night, okay?
I think we're just gonna stick to the plan, sir. I mean, Mr. Hackett knows we're coming and we called ahead.
No, ma'am. You're gonna head to the Harbinger Motel. Do you understand?
Oh. Should I be insistent to be annoying? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a close-up. Yeah, he is hella sketch. Fuck it. I'll piss him
With
off.
all due respect, sir, why can't we go to Hackett's Quarry?
Because I told you to go to the motel.
Tail.
Okay, I just don't understand what the problem.
Ma'am, please step out of the vehicle.
Whoa.
What? Why?
Officer, she didn't do anything.
Ma'am, if you wouldn't mind stepping out of the vehicle, I would just like to show you a route on your map there.
Why not just come over to my window and show me on my map?
For sure.
Son, remain in the vehicle.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, we...
Why would he lick the pencil?
are right about here. Harbinger Motel is here.
Right. Okay. And where was Hackett's
Yeah,
Quarry again?
So we can get there in
Well.
the morning.
I'm sure the fine folks at the Harbinger Motel can guide you there first thing in the morning.
Right.
Harbinger Motel. Stay on the road.
Wait, but what if there's
His
someone
neck,
out there?
Is it scratched
Yeah,
up?
I'll have a
Yeah,
look.
there's blood all on his neck.
Good night.
Do you think he's... No, I mean, I kind of know what happened. But there's definitely blood on his neck, too. Like, I would have been so sus of that. How they know... How neither of them caught on to the blood on his neck. I would have pointed that out. I would have been like, "Oh, you have blood on your face."
Why is this guy just sitting there?
That guy was giving me major weirdo
The
vibes.
dude needed like at least a dozen showers.
Oh my god, I know.
What was up with the thing? Did you see that?
Was it blood?
They did see it. Okay.
Nice to meet you. Oh man.
All right, let's get back on the road.
Yes.
I think I've had enough woodland encounters for one night. Thank you very much.
Agreed. So where's this motel?
Okay, so we're here,
Mhm.
and the motel is here,
Okay.
but we're going here.
What's there?
Hackett's Quarry.
How'd you do that?
I don't know, I kind of tricked him into showing me.
Very slick. Are you sure we shouldn't just get to the motel and just listen to this guy's advice?
Honey, you really want to listen to the advice of some creep-ass cop who told us in the middle of the creep-ass woods to go to some creep-ass hotel?
No, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Let's hit the road, shall we?
That's what I thought.
Ma'am?
Oh my god, if he called me ma'am one more time, I was gonna shove that badge up his dick hole. Seriously, do I look like a ma'am to you?
Yes.
I got like 20 years before I'm a ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
What?
20's debatable.
Amazing.
Easy.
I mean, I'm kind of into ma'ams.
Okay, we're done here.
June 25th.
You gotta be kidding me. There's nobody here. We drive all the way the fuck out here.
Max, can we just look around before we jump to conclusions?
Did you actually even talk to Mr. Hackett, or did you just leave a message?
Well, what's the difference?
This is the difference.
Yeah, because at the
Hello?
hotel, somebody would have been waiting for you.
I guess he doesn't check his voicemail.
How was I supposed to know that? I mean, clearly there's somebody here.
Yeah, or it's just an abandoned car, and this is a complete waste
Why
of time.
would there be an abandoned...
I'll get the car.
Max, come on. Max, don't be a dick.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, girl. He's not wrong.
anybody home?
Anyone? What doesn't kill you make you stronger?
Fun. What doesn't kill you will make you stronger.
Just blasting music. It's not even Ariana Grande.
Laura, there's no one here. Come on.
Just give me one more minute, okay? Hey! Hey, are you okay? I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some help. Max! Max, get over here!
What's going on?
There's somebody in the bunker. I think they might be stuck.
Stuck? Is it Mr. Hackett?
I don't know. Just bring some tools so we can break the lock. Hey, I'm back. We're gonna get you out of there.
Hey,
Wait, what are these?
I don't know. You just said tools.
Why didn't you just bring... Look, there's someone in there.
I'm not seeing anyone.
What? No, look.
I'm looking. I am.
Let me see. There was definitely someone there.
Okay. Okay. So.
I don't know. What's gonna break you? A hammer?
Hammer time.
You sure? It's gonna be super loud.
Yeah, okay. Wrenches.
Whatever. I don't think either is gonna work. Oh.
Damn. You need a hand?
Yeah.
You've seen The Evil Dead, right?
Not the Evil Dead.
Hello? Are you hurt?
Do you exist?
The fly is on my water bottle guy.
Hey, be careful.
I'm trying to get the fly. There's a huge fly in my fucking house right now. The thing about her face reminds me of weird ass Chloe Cherry. I think it's her eyes. Really? Ian. I'm scared.
Max?
Pinky. Now that's a body.
Hun, maybe it was a possum or something.
No, there
possum.
was someone here, I swear.
I would be.
Hey.
She's being insanely normal. Yeah.
It's
I'd
been
be
kind
like,
of a night,
There's
you know?
a fucking body in here.
Let's
We're
just get to the
getting fuck
motel. We
out.
can come
Why
back here
should-
first thing in the morning. We can check everything out, but... I mean, you must be exhausted. I know I am.
Oh, here.
I think our imagination...
Max? Max? Max!
Hi, Jam. Welcome in. Get your check-in.
Help. I think I'm bleeding a lot.
Hi, Jam. Hi, Jam. How was your weekend? Fuck it. Help her. Help him. All because she wanted to leave Max. Yeah, she's the reason he's even in there. Me forgetting about some of these things that happened. Oh,
Does
okay.
this look like the goddamn Harbinger Motel to you?
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me know what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words,
No, I mean, no, you're absolutely right, Jan. He literally told them not to come here.
in other
And then her nosy ass got her boyfriend killed. You know what I'm saying?
me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for.
Rip in
all
peace,
I
Max.
worship
White people gonna white
and
people.
adore. In other words, please be
Is she did too?
true
She got injected with something.
in
She wasn't
other
injured.
words.
Have you not Ash, have you ever seen gameplay of this? Is this your first time watching gameplay? Oh, I will definitely not spoil anything. I'm glad you're here for the ride. I know people who play, but I never watched. Oh my god, you're in for a
Hello,
treat. I
my
love
friend.
this game.
Welcome to the show. We are friends, aren't we?
You scared me in the woods.
I've waited for you. I've waited, yes. So I do hope our time together proves enlightening. There's no need to worry. I'm here to help you. Think of me as your guide into the unknown. It's exciting, yes, and terrifying. But if you're brave enough, if you let me help you, I can help you. We can help each other. This is
It's
the
giving
target
Hills has
file.
eyes. Ooh, you're not wrong.
The fool. I wonder who this is. We all know a fool when we see one, don't we? Innocence and freedom, or recklessness and risk-taking, spontaneity, actions without thought, but the consequences to match. Think. Think, and don't get burnt. I can show you more if you'd like me to.
Ooh. Let's see more.
This is what might come to pass. A possible future. A path yet unchosen. Look here, look here. There are secrets out there, you know. Secrets and lies. Paths to uncover, on which I can shed light, if you let me. Help me help you. And remember, what doesn't kill you will make you stronger.
Nope. You heard that, folks. And now it's when the game gets fun. The rest of the cast is so fun. Chapter 1, Hackett Safari Forever.
Ladies, peace and love.
See you later, kids.
Yeah, Hackett's Quarry forever!
So Ash, it's
You know how
literally
many
been
hearts
a
are
month
broken on the last
since
day of
the
summer
beginning.
camp? It's like a
Began.
romance apocalypse.
I'm dead.
I mean, you never know. The universe has a kind of way of
I love him actually.
working
Like,
these things
he's
out.
annoying, but I
The
kinda love him.
universe?
Yeah, like
Brenda song,
the cosmic
iconic.
space gods.
Say again, I
Space
was
God.
distracted.
You heard me?
The rest of this
Oh, you
cast
spell
is
it.
so fun. Like
Nothing to spell. You
it's
know,
less.
cool.
It's harder
Oh,
to get
so
annoyed
cool.
with these
We are
people.
super cool.
So she dumped her ass, huh?
Ah,
Quit it.
Hi, Emma.
Brenda, my love.
Hey.
We love Brenda's song.
Okay, this is You've heard of spatial awareness before,
Nah,
right?
spatial awareness is for nerds. Beat a lamb and grab the last couple of bags, will you?
Yes, boss.
Say hi to Emma for me.
You're a bad person.
Yes, I am.
Period. Hannah. Hannah Bobana, where are you, Hannah? Ooh, what's that?
Oh, hey. This is Emma's.
Cute. I will find everything.
What doesn't kill you will make you stronger. Not in the mood, sign. Jesus Christ. Hey. Hey, are you guys gonna help with the bags or what?
Oh, you know, I was actually just working on fixing the door.
Dylan, come on.
Broken.
Dylan, please.
I can't. It's.
I gotta get the last bags in there.
What's
Come
wrong
on.
with this thing? It's just.
Dylan,
frozen.
please.
Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Uh-oh. I missed a clue. I don't know what the clue was. So far the story seems like, yeah, exactly, until yeah, exactly, friend. Yeah, this game takes place over the course of some time. It actually also happens at night.
Hey, what are you listening to?
Justice.
Good to know.
Like, why can't I enter there? Oh, here you go.
Ah, fuck! Ah, fuck you, you spider fuck!
I did not know that happened. I'm not squashing a spider. That's bad luck.
Yeah, you better run.
That was a big ass spider. Watch. Oh my god, you might be real. You might be right about that. He is stomping his feet. Move to the sign already.
Oh, skill.
Oh, he just leaves that way?
Oh, double skill.
I thought I had to close the window. Double skill is crazy.
Ugh. Horror. I hate horror.
Was there nothing over here? to grab or look at? Interesting.
This place needs a serious overhaul.
Pointing his toe like Mike Miles on a vault.
Oh. Jesus. Okay, really, dude? Locking me out?
Okay, in my defense, A, it was Dylan's idea, and 2, it was really funny.
Oh, yeah, right. Is that right?
I don't write the rules, man.
Okay, whatever. Look, you gonna help me with the bags or what?
Nah, I gotta stay here and wait for Mr. H to return our cell phone, sorry.
Jesus Christ. Okay, and why are the stairs blocked?
Well, apparently it's to keep raccoons and other pesky varmints from ransacking the place. Mr. H's words, not mine.
Oh! Boring.
What? You asked.
Is that you, Dylan?
I can only deal with one shit at a time, Jacob.
Everyone's like, Jacob, just go do it yourself. Oh.
Man, that's a bad place to get stuck.
Anything fun over here? The way we've already missed one collectible. Rambo, hey! Rambo, get your check-in. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. How are you? Thank you, Rambo. I'm good. How are you? It's been a long week.
Hello?
Long weekend as well.
Whatever, man.
How about you, Rambo? How are you? I mean, I guess, right? There's nothing else to do.
wonder what's killing the deer.
Oh, I found it. Okay, cool. Alright, well, I think that's everything. Brenda, let's chat.
Jake, bags, focus.
Wait, but where are the bags? I already went upstairs. I thought the stairs were blocked. How was your weekend, Rambo? What were you up to this weekend? How was your week? Oh, they're right here.
All right. Got the bags.
Great. All by yourself, huh?
Yep.
Yep.
Guess you're gonna have to get used to that.
Oh my god, you are so mean.
At least I'm honest.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Okay, you're not telling me the whole truth about you and Emma, are you, son?
Excuse me. Just working some.
Oh, okay. So now I'm the one who's not telling the whole story, huh?
Oh, well, this is the bait I just gotta take, Jake. Oh. Oh, sorry, I just got so distracted about that rhyme. I forgot what we were...
Oh, no. You were telling me how you totally have a thing for Ryan.
Wait, are we talking about Ryan, the sailing instructor with the sexy brooding loner thing that totally doesn't do anything for me at all?
Ah, sexy, huh?
Hottest at camp by far.
Okay, sure.
Look, it was all settled by the girls in bunk 7, like second day of camp.
I'm
It goes
dead.
Ryan, me of course, then Dylan, Emma, Abby,
Okay.
Nick, and then Mr. H, and...
Okay, are you almost finished? Please?
Yep, that's it. That's everyone. So she
Trying to
really
hook
just
a
dumped
daddy.
her
I'm
ass,
tired of
huh?
working. Go get
Okay.
it. Go get a daddy
Her
friend.
whole
Go
thing
get a daddy.
is like, how are we gonna make this work? Different schools, blah, blah, blah. My whole thing is like, maybe long distance, blah, 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 blah. And she was just like, Jacob.
She gave you the look, huh?
Yeah, do not pass go.
Man, she just got you wrapped all the way around that dainty little finger of hers. How does she do it?
How does she do it?
Okay, you know what? Maybe you're right.
I'm just
Maybe
gonna
she
make him a
does
sim-
have like this
sim comedy.
superpower over me, but you know what? Maybe I like it.
Oh, likes it. Check. Totally not in denial.
Oh,
Check.
Okay. Wow, the fumes of jealousy are just stifling over here.
Excuse me?
I'm just saying, I guess some girls don't have what it takes to hang with the big dog.
You're a real charmer, you know that?
Ooh.
Look, I'm just saying, I don't know why you didn't make a move on Ryan. You should have seized the moment.
Well, can't seize a moment that never happened.
Yeah, well, you can't wait for it to come to you. You got to make the moment happen yourself.
Oh, right. Chase the moment around all summer like a dog with 2 dicks until it dumps you on the last day of camp.
Okay. Not gonna miss you, Caitlin. Okay, so are we sure that this old rust
They had a
bucket's
fight.
roadworthy?
I love my job though.
We'll take a
One
look.
of us-
It
Oh,
better
that's
be.
Awesome.
One more night in the great outdoors
I'll
might
be there for
actually
6
kill
years.
me.
Ooh,
Hey.
What do you do part time?
It doesn't kill you, will make you stronger.
Well, I haven't killed you yet. And you're still pretty pathetic.
Hey, shut up. Okay, so, total hypothetical, but if I was like a huge asshole and I wanted to break down the van so we'd have to spend another night here, what exactly would I need to do?
Well, you'd probably break the fuel line, or, I don't know, rip out the rotor arm. And yes, that would make you a total asshole.
Okay, and what does a rotor arm look like again?
It's like a arm that's all rotary.
Why would you tell
You know, it's
him?
under the little black dome with the leads poking out. Jake, you do realize that even if we somehow did get stuck out here, one more night with Emma wouldn't make a difference. Trust me, Chick's made up her mind.
Yeah.
Bath and Body Works?
Sure.
Ooh, that's so cool. I love Bath and Body Works.
Guess we'll just have to find out.
Girl.
come on with me, buddy.
The whole Walmart thing. Oh,
Put you right back
Walmart
tomorrow.
thing.
No harm, no foul.
Up here, my dudes.
Why did they look like they're up to something?
Hey, Jacob.
What? No, dude, please, don't.
Go long.
Oh, Nick! Boom. Oh, there it is.
Oh, man, good sight.
I'm sick. What a freak.
Ooh, I wish I had some singles.
Freaks. I'm surrounded by freaks. Oh, thank God. I'm gonna get the whole no technology thing, but take me back, world.
You would have thought Mr. H could have, like, charged up our phones, like, a little bit.
Nothing's ever your fault, is it?
You know, you should really just save it for emergencies only. Unless, of course, is being dumped an emergency?
Oh, Ben.
Why are they all just like fighting him off? March 2016, March 2025. Oh my god.
Okay, well, at least I had a relationship this summer.
Ooh, damn. Now we burned.
Yeah, well, maybe not everyone is looking for a hook.
Okay, let's all put our little dicks away and get this show on the road, huh?
Where's everybody else?
Why would I know that?
Sometimes you know stuff I don't.
Look, I don't even know how to respond to that.
You say, Nick, you're way smarter than me, and you're a super hot stud who gets any chick he wants.
Okay, yeah, keep dreaming, Junior.
I'm dead.
Hey there, Party Bear.
Status report?
We are officially empty nesters. High five up top.
Oh boy. You're about to get your phone back, aren't you?
Let's go collect our bags and away from this mosquito-infested backwoods dump.
Door's locked, bags inside.
Fuck me.
Yep.
Well, it's obvious what we have to do here.
Find someone with a key?
Shape our destiny. Then by shape our destiny, I mean shape our way through this crappy lock and grab our bags.
Okay. Let's do it. We better not get in trouble.
I won't tell if you won't tell.
Mr. Hackett's gonna find out.
So what? He'll just think it was a bear or something.
Have you ever seen a bear in these woods?
No, but that doesn't mean they're not out there.
Fair point.
All right, let's do this. On 3. 1, 2, 3! All about the power of positive thinking.
Why do I ever listen to you?
Because I'm always right.
Are you sure they're gonna think it was a bear?
Oh my god, relax. It's not like we killed someone.
All right, well, I'm just gonna take another look around, make sure we didn't miss anything.
Go nuts.
Aw. This was little Izzy's.
I want to play a game.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, you can probably just stay here, you creepy little thing.
Right.
Why would this place be in the news? Can't believe I'm actually gonna miss all those lumpy, loose springs.
So I guess there was nothing to see? Except for the one clue.
It's gonna be weird not waking up to Dylan's morning announcements.
Not the crow.
Hey! You stop that! Ugh.
Sometimes there's stuff behind buildings, you know what I mean? Nothing important there. Actually, I'm gonna go through all of them. Can you go up the stairs, girl?
Dylan is not gonna be happy that the kids just had this year. I'll tell Chris about it when we see him.
That is loud as hell. Okay, I am tired. We'll end here. Your boy wants to go get some sleep. Yeah, we'll just end right here. Alright, y'all. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Perfect. Just like got home and about to knock out after your shower. Period. It's like I knew. I knew to wait up for you. I'm glad you got you got home okay, Ash. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for stream. Thank you Rosa for being here. Thank you for being such a good friend to me. And honestly, stream was the best part of my weekend. So I really appreciate all the time that we got to spend together this weekend. I'm so exhausted, but it's okay. It was so worth it. Who should we raid out to? Jason. I just met Jay on Twitch after like seeing their content on TikTok. Oh, Charlie's live. Charlie's live. We should go hang out with Charlie. They just got back from Mexico. They're playing Overwatch. Oh my god, let's do that. Let's go hang out with Charlie. Let's go hang out with Charlie. Charlie's playing Overwatch. Dad is leaving us to go sleep, aka milk, and never going back. Stop! No, thank you for GameStar. I appreciate you so much. Let's go hang out with Charlie. Charlie is playing Overwatch right now. Charlie's such a vibe. Let's go hang out with him after his trip to Mexico. And yeah, I'll be live again on Friday. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled program. It'll be like a little 4th of July stream. I should have off on Fridays, so that should be nice. But yeah, we will we'll get back into some Sims maybe. We'll see what's on the horizons for us in terms of stream. But thank you so much all for being here. It means so much to me that you spend your nights with me, and I love that I have you guys to look forward to every week. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time, okay? All right, bye.